Peace and prosperity be unto all who's listening and watching. It's your girl Shaeranea, right? And I'm back with another video. And today's video is going to be part 2 to self-mastery. And today is going to be mastering your mind. And a part to mastering your mind is knowing where you are on a conscious level, where you are in your maturity, where you are in your growth, and where you are in your life. So right now, what goals do you have? Like, what aspirations do you have for this specific time in your life? And how does your mind, how does your behaviors, and how does your belief and train of thought align with those things that you desire and the place that you are at? A lot of what self-mastery continue in is constant growth and constant evolving. Now, earlier I was having a conversation with people. People seem to be getting tired of people who are on a lower subconscious, people who are negative, people who are this way, people who are not very mature. And it seems like people rest all their energy on negative things. And people will say that everyone, because they're at such age, that they're supposed to be mature. It's not necessarily the case. All people have a place in their life that they grow up into a certain age. Some people continue to grow no matter what. And then some people grow but remain at one specific point in their life subconsciously and never grow beyond that point. And I was saying earlier to this room of people that you can't get mad at people for being on a lower subconsciousness that doesn't allow them to be in the place where you're at. If you want people on a higher level or a higher frequency or higher vibration, you need to be around those like-minded individuals. Now, yin and yang is always going to be around. You always have naysayers and people who are negative and people who aren't really about the growth and the mindset. That's fine. You'll always have people like that around, but you can't be mad at people. Some people go through so many things in life, but they never learn from them. And then you got some people who go through a lot of things and they learn from every experience they encounter. You have people who learn and you have people who don't, and they just experience life as is. And when I see people upset, negative, mad about people who aren't like them, I kind of think about judge not and ye shall not be judged. People want to be understood at certain points in their lives, often forget before they was even on the mindset of growth or on the mindset or the level that they're at or at this level of wealth, right? Or whatever subconsciousness or level of status you have now. Forget the place that they once were at. And they're so annoyed by people who were once like them or on a frequency that once was them at some point, or a place that they either cannot reflect back to or just something they forgot along the journey, because we're not always all at a high point. We all start from a low level. Some people evolve beyond that, some people stay in that. And and people always say, I am a believer in God. So I do bring up God when I have conversations with big crowds and people. And I'll say, and then people say, well, not everybody's a believer of God. Well, even if that's the case, and not everybody's a believer of science, but science is real. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is a believer of the universe, but the universe is real. And at the end of the day, we didn't create ourselves, so how is it impossible to believe? So I'm not going to get all religious or anything, because I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. But what I'm going to say is people get to a place in their life but they're doing better, they're doing greater things, and they forget that they were once at certain points in their life, that because they're on a different level, they feel they can judge those people who were once at that level, or at that level that they're no longer at. And I find it stupid. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. I get it. People are tired. You're at a different level. You want to get your business going. I get it. You want to attract people who are with it. How long did it take you to get to this place? How long did it take you to get to this betterment where you at? This video is totally about mastering the mind, but understanding that even when you do master your mind, it's the understanding that you shouldn't judge yourself, because there's points in your life and things in yourself, your dark side, your shame, your doubts, your worries, your concerns, some mistakes that you've made, some decisions you chose. It's some things that about ourselves that we're going to either have to be very understanding, or we're going to have to deal with the torment of what that does when we don't accept fully who we are. And that's what happens when people don't accept others. And in this world, they was going on to say things like, not everybody believes in God, and that doesn't matter. Even the devil uses a lot of people. I got that, and I got the point. And what I told them was, God uses a lot of people that the devil once used. And even if no one believes in God or the devil or any of that, everybody, no matter how ugly the decisions and choices they choose, whether they are a murderer, same thing. No matter what they do, it all evolves everybody's experience. Even though our decisions and choices may not seem like they affect other people, but our experiences and choices do help us become better so that we can help more people. And same with those people who are doing bad. Their experiences may affect people in a harmful way, which put other people in a position to move towards their purpose, to push back towards their experience. It's always deeper, and people always focus on the small picture, but if you don't look deeper beyond the picture, you can only see the picture. Zoom out, look beyond the horizon, and see what's beyond the view. There's something deeper to that. There's external things. There's some things that's going on with inside of people that, you know, they have to face. They have to fight. They have to face. They have to overcome. And some people won't overcome them. Some people won't face their inner demons. Some people want to face that shame. Some people won't face the truth. But that's okay. Not a lot of people will. And that's why I said some are chosen and some are not. So I just think people get to a place in their lives where they feel like they can judge other people because they're no longer at a place they used to be. And they often forget that they were once at a low level state before they got this mindset of growth and change. Like the audacity that people have when they speak sometimes. And people are like, well, I get it, LaShae, you're so hopeful for the future, so hopeful. I'm just being realistic. No. If people would have gave up on a lot of people, young people, who were troubled youth, young people like myself, young people, not just young people, it's a lot of people. If you would have gave up on them when you gave up on them, they wouldn't be those people they are today. Doing better things, you know, creating organizations for the nonprofit, or helping the homeless, or doing something very successful, being an athlete. You know, people have terrible, you know, start experiences turn out to be better than they was ever before. People have to have a start, and even the start don't have to necessarily be good. It's just where you're headed. And people often lose track of that. I think people get beside themselves, and people are beside themselves. When I hear people speak, I get people are irritated, but a lot of what people do, don't affect you. So why judge them? A lot of what people do, though it may trigger you, it may irritate you, you can either move yourself around, enlighten yourself, be more conscious about the people that you're around, be mindful or the behaviors that may trigger you, or the words that may trigger you. Be mindful of that thing. That's the thing about self-mastery. Mastering your mind is understanding what goes and what don't. And understanding your behaviors as well as other people. Being observant. Knowing yourself in truth and accepting all that comes with. Your mind is the most powerful thing to self. Because your mind is what identifies the identity in which you are. It helps you understand so many things. And without the mind, you wouldn't be able to grasp a lot of things about yourself, a lot of things about life, a lot of things about love. And you wouldn't have the perceptions or the perspective in which you have today without that powerful mind. So think better and never get beside yourself when people are not in the same place in life with you. And if you longer do those things than you used to, or people are doing things that you may not agree with, don't get beside yourself, because you did something, you said something, you did something, right, that wasn't even the best at some point. So people can just stop getting beside themselves and really think about mastering themselves and their minds. Because that judgment stuff really goes so far, but it don't go a long way. So back to this. Mastering your mind really requires you to think about where you're at every specific point in your life, the direction you're headed, the decisions you're making, the behaviors that goes along with the specific path that you want to be on, and how you want to get there. So it just really depends on where you're at in your life, consciously and maturely, and what level of growth you want to evolve to. So that's my take on it. And I hope you guys never judge people based on where they're at, on the decisions they're making. Yes, sometimes people are doing things that may make you, make it look or something, or may do something that in their 40s, or something like that. But you gotta know, it's some people who grew up doing adult things, didn't experience a childhood, now acting like a child in their adult age. I'm saying that, like Benjamin Button, you could be born old and experience life young in your later days. Life can be completely backwards for some people, why some other people can go on the process of the course in which you're supposed to be. Depending on your upbringing and all those great things, do not judge a book by its cover. There's so much power in knowing that right there in itself is deceit. But make sure that you're not one of those people who are judging. But I love you guys.